Good evening, sim racing fans. Welcome to the 24 Hours of Lemons iRacing League, coming to you hot from the Circuit of the Americas tonight for more wings than an airport. This is Ryan Bauer, Bearded Sim Racer, and I'm joined in the booth by Mr. Eric Rude. Eric is here. What's up, Eric?
How you doing, Ryan? I think it's unfair to call anything Lemons does hot, but it's lukewarm or room temp, probably.
Tepid? Yeah,
tepid. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
And awesome. Joining us, our special guest this week, Armin Bengal, Lemons West Coast staffer, hanging in despite being a little bit under the weather. How you doing?
Yeah, everybody.
And also joining us, Randy Bish from beautiful Pennsylvania. How you doing, Randy?
I'm doing A-OK. How are you, cool cats and kittens?
And as Ryan mentioned, we are at COTA for the first opening race of the evening. All open-wheeled cars. I believe Nate Schlebeen, scheduler, general, and master for Lemons iRacing League, has set it up as more wings than an airport, so pretty much every kind of winged car available in iRacing on the track all at once, racing in 8 different classes. So basically, good chance to win your class against like an other car. So thanks for joining us, and don't expect a whole lot of commentary on anything relevant. We'll probably be going off the rails almost immediately, but lots of regulars joining us this weekend, and also a whole host of new people that I'm looking forward to getting.
That's right. And you forgot to introduce me.
Oh, I'm sorry. How you doing, Cameron? Racing in the I don't know what car that is.
It is the Delara IR01.
There you go.
And I am doing well, getting blown by Sir Lewis Hamilton ×2 just now.
Excellent.
I just noticed that the Delara is like one step away from having mustard and mayo tires, and that brings me such joy. Like Paul Wall just immediately starts in my head.
It also has ketchup tires, but we're not running those tonight.
Excellent. Yeah. Explain mustard and mayo tires.
So mustard and mayo tires, for people that didn't grow up in the West or the Rust Belt or such, is just those 22 or 24 inch whatever god awful Chinese tires, but with just that thin pencil white wall and yellow wall. So there's your mustards and mayos, and it's really an important ingredient to all things slab adjacent.
Ah, okay.
Everybody's learning things.
Yeah.
I've seen those before, mostly on Cadillac DeVille's.
Yeah, they're super popular on there. In Detroit about a year or so ago, I saw somebody put mustard and mayos and the appropriate caddy style wheels on like a Hyundai Genesis, and it actually looked pretty badass.
A slab, Genesis slab.
What Genesis are we? Not that it matters, but like is it the full 4-door giant?
Oh, it was the Peter Gabriel edition.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me steam.
But it was the Hyundai Genesis, like the Genesis model before they did the offshoot.
Oh, that's right. So it's not a G. Oh man, I mentioned a G80 with slab wheels and mustard and mayos.
It's living it up. It's ironic that it was in Detroit also. That's odd.
Yeah, that was the really odd bit. I was in the area yesterday with some of my Pittsburgh friends, and they couldn't get over that every house had an American car out front. They just couldn't understand that.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. That it stretches into the rest of the Rust Belt, certainly where I grew up. As I've mentioned frequently on Lemons Car Spotting, as I see a Lemons Car Spotting reference in the chat from Boston Beaters, with the Corsica that was wrecked and became the thumbnail for the last episode. But as I've mentioned on there, the most exotic car in my hometown growing up was like a G-body El Camino. So, very familiar with that concept.
Let's see. Most exotic car I saw recently in my little town of Christiansburg, Virginia, was a McLaren. which I presume had to have come from either Roanoke or Blacksburg, but there you go. Otherwise, it's just a new Bronco. I saw like 3 of them this weekend so far.
Yeah, I'm unenthused by those. Armin, do you live in Marin County? You probably see all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, I have a coworker who's got the new Bronco, and it's like, I think the Sasquatch edition or something for the early release. It's the 2-door, and it really, what it made me realize is I had not realized what a tiny woman my coworker was until I saw her climbing out of this thing, and it's just, it looks awesome, and she loves it, and she's having a good time, and took her like 5 minutes to get back in.
You had to clamber up the side and get in.
Yeah, but there's grab handles and stuff for that. So
yeah.
Kevin Mobes, by the way, got the full Weeb livery going on there. I appreciate that.
Of course.
That's his signature.
Yep.
I think one of the Hessers was running the Funfetti cupcakes also. That was looking pretty good.
nice.
There it is. With Quick Trip. Oh man. Where does Quick Trip fall on the scale of Sheetz and Wawa?
It's there. I mean, it's pretty regional. It's Kansas, Oklahoma, and then from Charlotte to Atlanta, like a diagonal line. It's there.
The crazy thing is there's 2 different Quick Trips. There's
right.
There's Quick Trip with a Q and Quick Trip with a K.
I'm thinking Quick Trip with a Q.
You guys are blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, I mean, none of them are Buc-ee's, but if you've seen
No, they're
Buc-ee's,
not.
Man, that place
Or
is
Casey's, which is definitely in the Midwest.
wild. Casey's is an Iowa thing. What man, Nate Schleveen, who scheduled this, has the boring actual Mercedes livery on there unless I'm missing something.
So the only thing about the Mercedes, the W12, you can't do a custom paint. It has to be that or like a default iRacing paint with no sponsors.
Yeah. It's an exclusivity.
But hey, we got the car.
Building.
Yeah, it is brand building. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh, F's and chat.
Think about the brand.
Yeah, especially for a car that will never race again.
It's fine. Ed Smith, one of those freaks, got the really good iRacer, Ed Smith, who races a Toyota Camry.
Ah.
He's got the yellow submarine livery from Penske Racing. Looking good.
Yeah. Speaking of Camrys, so I was at my Speedway earlier this afternoon, and while I was leaving in a car I'm reviewing right now, the Grand Cherokee L, I saw a Camry.
Sorry.
I know, it's pretty fucking huge, yeah, and all that, but that's okay. It goes home Wednesday. I saw a Camry, with the, that little Mustang indicator go bloop, 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 bloop.
Oh yeah, the
sequential, that's right.
Sequential. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this Camry had that happening for the front lights. And I was wondering, is that like a factory option? That's so cool.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's a pretty new car too. Maybe it's a custom, I don't know, but it's just cool seeing that on a Camry.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything cool on a Camry ever, so it's new ground for me.
Got a new Camry, so next time I see him, I'll demand to see the turn signals.
Yeah, that's a good plan. Perfectly fine automobile Camry.
Yeah. Well, when we were at Sonoma in March for Lemons on Friday, when we were doing the, getting everyone teched and everything, and they had a test day, and I guess it's part of that high performance school at Sears Point. They had 3 Camrys doing hot laps, and they were not slow.
Yeah, they're faster than Lemons cars. Yeah.
Oh yeah, easily faster than Lemons cars.
Yeah. That stands. That's the Volex test. the Volex that raced in Lemons, Chinese-built tiny SUV, is basically a Toyota Yaris, and a team who actually knows what they're doing at its first race finished 16th overall in what is basically a 100 horsepower Toyota Yaris. And just because it is, even though it's a Chinese copy of it, it is completely competent. Any modern car will absolutely whip the crap out of a Lemons car, as long as you can keep the CAN bus from freaking out. So
That's right.
Fire Clone in the chat asking the car list. It is the Mercedes W12, the IR01, the IR18, the DW12, which I think is the IndyCar, Formula 3, PM18, which I think is the Indy Lights car, USF 2000, and Skip Barber. So it is every single winged car.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, except for the Formula 4, but we only have room for 8 cars.
Right. There you go. So there you go. And hi to Max Up, Gear Up, and Boston Beaters. So there you go. Good seeing you. Thanks for joining us. Stunt Granny commenting as he's also in the race. Also good. So we are in qualifying before we get to the race. So this is kind of just the setup, practice, as it were. Caden Bright, one of the new people to the Lemons iRacing League. We actually raced, I think, with his dad at CMP in the Honda Prelude. Won the judge's choice. Super cool guys and a cool team. So good to see him jumping into the Lemons world as well.
Whew. Michelin morning waking up and choose violence right in front of me right now.
Yeah. As you do.
As you do.
So yes, following this, as I said, 80-minute enduro at Lime Rock Park with... Actually, I don't know if I said that, but so following this setup, there's an 80-minute race. 3 classes, Mustang and Camaro in the top class, Jetta TDI Global MX-5 Cups, the Skip Barber and the Legends car in Class B, and Class C, the Legacy and MX-5, and of course the Lemons Caliber, well, not actual caliber, but the Lemons grade Pontiac Solstice. Unfortunately, there is no...
Don't get my hopes up by mentioning caliber.
Oh, man.
Oh, yes.
Just the worst car. So good for Lemons. I don't know if the caliber is coming to the next race at Thunderhill. There's one caliber that races in Lemons, and it's real bad.
It's a 5-speed caliber though, so it's a rare class.
That's right. That's a rare machine.
On today's episode of Rare But Who Cares, manual caliber.
Yeah.
Only 300 were built.
We were talking about that the manual V6 Ford Tempo that was on Bring a Trailer.
Oh yeah.
They have the Marty report saying it's one of 297 builds.
It's a real driver's car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is crazy. And it's in last year, so it reads like, some person at Ford was like, well, what do we need to get rid of? Like, what is in the parts bin that we absolutely need to empty? And,
this is easier than throwing them away.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if the manual transmission they used was the same one with the V6. It doesn't actually matter. I assume that they were just trying to dump all those crappy 5 speeds. Because the Vulcan, as we all know, should all know, kept being used in Ford Tauruses for another 15 years. So, oh man. The craziest example of just parts bin rating, it was that one of 297 Ford Tempo that is on Bring a Trailer right now, listed for $5,000, which it's a
real low mileage car.
Yeah.
So,
What I want to know is who bought that car in 1994 and then put basically no miles on it for 28 years.
Well, if you see a car that's like that was purchased and then not driven very much, you assume that someone old bought it and then died.
Right.
But this is one with it's a real muscle car with a 5-speed and a V6. So obviously that's a young man's car.
That's right, 130 horsepower, and the engine only went 700 pounds over the front. Which of course, Ryan also, his first car was a Tempo. Mine was a Topaz. Same thing, but
it's classier.
Yeah, it's the up tempo. I'll show myself out. But yeah, those cars handled so poorly anyway. Putting the V6 in the nose, I can't imagine that made it any better. Derek Gilray with Espresso. That looks like a real livery, frankly. Not enough wild liveries in this one for my tastes, but I get it.
I haven't seen a single Simpsons reference yet. I got my hopes up from some of the ones I had watched earlier.
It's really hard to make a Canyonero out of a winged car.
That's true.
Good point.
What is the ideal iRacing Canyonero? Like, it's got to be the Jetta or nothing, right? Because it's just the.
I was going to say the Pro 2 Lite. I have the.
Oh yeah.
I have the livery for the Canyonero to make it actually look like it, and it was great because we would send it out with the Jettas and just run over them.
There you go. We need to find a narrow track to put all Canyoneros, and you have to run the Canyonero spec livery.
just the Hank Jr. song playing in the background ever so quietly on loop.
Yeah.
Top of the line in utility sports, unexplained fires are a matter for the court.
Yep, that's the one.
Hey, Cameron, that gets back to the Grand Cherokee you're driving.
That's right. It's definitely the Canyonero. It's the Canyonero L.
I don't know. Have you guys seen if we're going to call anything Jeep makes a Canyonero, have you guys seen the new Wagoneer?
Yes. I was supposed to review that, but I got sent back to Detroit, so I got the Grand Cherokee instead.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. It looks like somebody... Oh, F's in chat for Christian Bishop there.
Ooh, yeah. There he goes.
One of the new people, also, Christian Bishop. So.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us and dying in your debut.
New to
but yeah, the Grand Wagoneer just looks like, I don't know, like a bad Tahoe. I think that's just the best way of phrasing it.
Oh, and there's a Wagoneer L coming too. I guess where they put the link on the Wagoneer L? On the butt.
I mean, it looked like a vehicle that was designed whenever somebody went into work and they opened up like Autodesk or Inventor or Creo or whatever they're modeling with, and they opened up the assembly file for the Grand Cherokee, and they hit scale and they hit 125%, and then they went, I am so smart, and then somebody else stuck a 6-digit price figure on it, and then they all went to drinks at 10:30 in the morning on a Tuesday.
That's right.
That was the end of the development cycle.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have to remember the Grand Wagoneer was like, I mean, it's a terrible car. Grand Wagoneer. Oh. It is. I don't even know what the chassis is, but they used an AMC V8 that had been designed in 1962. I think. The 360 had grown out of all the other old crappy AMC V8s. Which is where people get them now, is they find crashed Wagoneers. But anyway, and then it was just like Jeep selling these things in the 80s with ridiculous price tags to people who had absolutely no need for them. And I don't know if there's a modern analogy for that or anything.
Can't think of any now.
Yeah, it just doesn't strike a chord with anyone, I don't think. But the Grand Wagoneer was I read somewhere that it was the car with the highest average household income. Was the Grand Wagoneer in the 80s.
Interesting.
Bought by rich people.
Yeah.
Well, you need it to go to your second house.
That's
right.
Yeah.
The lake house.
No.
Yeah.
Pull your boat.
The ski cabin. Yeah.
Would you pull a boat with a Grand Wagoneer? I feel like you would do it once and then be like,
Oh, I'd make it to the ramp and I'd ghost ride the whip straight into the lake.
I know, I feel like people were just a little more confident in their towing back in the day, whereas now what we would now consider incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
It's just
normal. Yeah.
I know my grandpa used to tow a boat, not a big boat, but like a little outboard boat with a FJ40, and this was outside of Redding, California, where it's really hot in the summer, and had to, time going to and from the lake so that the Toyota FJ40 wouldn't overheat on the hill going over there.
Yeah.
If you try to do it in the middle of the day, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. So once you're at the lake, you are at the lake, whether you like it or not.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. Sit down and shut up. We're fishing. There's no other choice.
Oh, well.
Is this the same grandfather who was also a connoisseur of French automobiles?
This is my other grandfather. This is my mom's dad. He owned a Rambler convertible as well.
Oh, man.
As well as 40.
Yeah,
There was
Rambler
one time
convertible.
yeah, and it was incredibly dorky, and my mom and aunts and uncles like one of those cars where you demand that your parents drop you off like several blocks away from school and you walk the rest of the way,
Right.
so that no one sees what a dork your father is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be like a semi-modern analog of that? Is that like it's not quite Geo Metro convertible, but it's not far off. It's like Pontiac Sunfire.
Convertible?
Which one?
Or is PT Cruiser or Sebring?
Yeah,
Chrysler?
yeah. I think that's right.
I would say the Jelly Bean Mercury version of the Taurus.
They never made a convertible version of that, though, did they? Of the Sable?
That'd be hella sweet.
Oh. Okay, I mean, a Sawzall, anything's possible.
I was gonna say you now have a goal for the League of Legitimate Businessmen.
What wins? What takes 68th place on Sunday sells on Bring a Trailer on Monday.
That's right. Or on Facebook Marketplace, probably. Please take this thing. I did see a former gambler Saturn wagon on the local Facebook Marketplace that I was tempted by. $800. I don't know if I can pass that up.
$800 for a Saturn with or without the lift, you can't pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really need to do a gambler event, at least one, just for the shenanigans at some point, because I haven't yet.
Oh, man.
Oh, there we go.
There is a Sable convertible.
Oh,
It's one of
damn.
one. Can you make that bigger, Ryan? I need to appreciate this.
Full screen for the rest of the evening.
Yeah.
This is the live stream now.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, it looks not homemade. I'm not sure. If it's homemade, it's pretty well done.
Well, it looks like the doors are larger than normal, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
why
or
are
is that
there
just-
two doors? How are there two doors?
Well, you can't have a 4-door convertible. That
Or
just
can
doesn't
you?
work. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's already. I mean, this thing already is probably going to flop apart if it hasn't already.
Oh yeah, this
mean,
thing has all the structural rigidity of a lasagna.
Yeah, man alive. But like they've done the deck for the tonneau cover or whatever the hell you want to call it. Yeah, man.
Oh, there's more?
I need to know more. This is something I need to research.
Would you call those headrest fairings behind the rear seats?
Yeah, it's just like a Jaguar E-Type.
Yeah.
Identical, really. God, I kind of love it, frankly. Because when you pulled it up, I was like, that looks like a Renault? Like a Renault 25?
Yep.
Yeah. Well done, Ryan. Good pull from the internet right there.
Hella sweet.
This is why you're the best.
So apparently they never made a convertible, but I'm seeing several.
There's, it's like one of those things like there was a 5 or 10 year period where nobody was building convertibles in the United States.
That's right.
So there were aftermarket weird coach building companies. that did them.
ASC.
ASC was like the good one.
Yeah.
Even then, ugh. But yeah, there's a few that made like Cadillac Seville convertibles and things like that. So I wonder if this is one of those like test case ones. Martin Swig famously had the Datsun 200SX, one of one. Oh man, yeah, look at it.
If you print this picture out, all you get is a ticket to a Radwood event.
This
Free
is a
members only
Radwood ticket. Yeah, the Sun Chaser, Celica Sun Chaser.
Oh, that's right,
call,
Sun Chaser.
Luis Pagan, thank you.
I mean, this also seems like a proper time to shoehorn in the entire concept of the U.S. mini truck convertibles.
Oh yeah,
the Dakota.
Sky Ranger. What was the Dakota called?
It's the Shelby. It was a Shelby Dakota.
That's right. Yep.
I don't know if did Ford do one.
Yeah. Ford did one. They called it the Sky Ranger.
I mean, that almost makes more sense because at least it's on a frame. Like it's a there's no structural rigidity. It's all frame.
So VTube Studio just died on me on my phone while I was racing. Like, oh no!
Well, you'll have that on big jobs like this.
Yeah, I just had to pull over and.
This is.
Oh no!
This is wild.
Yeah, you
I
you've
can't.
blown our minds, Ryan.
I see. I can't get past the door. Like, is the door longer than an OE door, or did they chop the car and remove the material from the rear doors? Like, how did this come to be?
Because either way, whichever one of those two that they did, and it's definitely one of the two, and either way, that's a ton of work.
Yeah.
It's also moderately terrifying.
Oh yeah, it's gonna snap in half.
Well, famously, Anton Lovett, at least 2-time. Yeah, there's the Shelby Dakota report. Yeah, look at that thing. Anton Lovett raced a Cavalier convertible that was basically what they did was they built normal Cavaliers and they sent them to whoever the coach builder was. And it was literally a dude with a cutting wheel. And he just just sawed the roof off, like left all the edges and then did the worst welding to reinforce it. Like it was like some dude spending 12 minutes doing that. And yeah, so it makes sense that somebody they did that in a way that was used for production cars, which is hilarious. And then that Sable is just the most carefully, at least, from 25 feet away and on the internet in a fuzzy medium res photo. Kind of impressive looking.
Yeah.
Ryan, you win the internet today. Oh, of course. Yeah, there we go. Howard Dean's in for it. How many people are in right now, Ryan, for the race?
We have 19 drivers on track.
All right, so Armin, pick a number between 1 and 19.
4.
4. All right, and there's your real winner. Is the 4th place finisher.
Fourth out of the podium, but on the podium.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
You know what convertible was technically better but worse in every way once you think about it? The Chevy SSR.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Like, on paper, it looks fine. Like, oh, okay, it's a little bit wonky, but whatever. But so those were based upon the GMT 360 platform. So like a Bravada Trailblazer, that body on frame stupidity. Obviously, the great place to start for a convertible. But they somehow added enough reinforcing to make them 4,700 pounds.
Ooh.
Like you look at that, and it is legitimately 4,700 pounds. So every reinforcement that wasn't needed in the first place was made out of concrete.
And then you factor in the folding hardtop, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah.
And turns out the LS engine is absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way around it. That was just there to move it.
Strange decisions by General Motors, circa 2000. I don't know, what was that? 5? Everybody's, by the way, killing themselves right before the race starts. So, good stuff. Just about to grid F's in chat as Jason has very cleverly added to his car, knowing that he's going to be shot into the moon at the end of this next race.
Yeah. Well, as more wings in the airport, we're all taking off from the new airport in Austin, COTA.
This Jared Duclos usually has some pretty good Bear Pope livery going on.
Yeah.
But we'll see it once we grid here. So
I think he's in that brand Mercedes.
there you go.
Brands destroy everything. Fight me, I'm not wrong.
No, you're right. There's no arguing this. Like maybe we got an extension on qualifying / practice / pre-race wreck fest.
Yeah, pre-race wreckfest at this
Oh
point.
man, I might as well reset. I thought we were done.
It's done Granny correcting us on it's Freakazoid, not F's and chats.
No,
All right.
no, that's an F. I saw it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll end my qualifying run and get ready to race. Oh, we got about a minute until grid.
There you go. I wonder how old this article is on the Mercury Sable convertible. Because it was apparently for sale. Somebody paid some amount of American dollars for it.
Like real American currency?
Yeah, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
Now I'm looking at the Sable while I gotta wait for grid, and
Damn, that thing's amazing.
So, thinking
That's
of articles that have popped up that are pretty old. I saw there's an event that I'm going to that some guy signed up in a 1995 Oldsmobile 442, and I started to think like that car doesn't exist.
It does.
that-
Yeah.
Not a 95. Well, it was.
It's an Olds Achieva 442 W41.
oh wow.
Well, okay, there is that one. But this guy, and I took a look at the picture of what this guy built. He bought an Impala SS, and he took the hood off the Olds Vista Cruiser, and then he reformed and partially painted the headlights from the Impala to make it, to give it like that Oldsmobile 4i look. And he did like a proper full-size Oldsmobile out of a 90s B-body. And I'm looking at the articles of when this guy built it. He did this when the car was like brand new.
Oh,
And Oldsmobile still existed? That's
I mean,
awesome.
it existed, in the same way that I exist on a Thursday afternoon. It's like, I guess I'm here. I'm not doing anything, but I'm here.
Ooh, looks like a standing start. Crew chief told me I got plenty of fuel to finish the race.
yeah. The Sable, by the way, apparently a concept car that didn't get crushed. So there you go.
And Nate left the race.
Kyle quit the band.
Nate jumped out of the race because he remembered that, the Dodge Dakota Shelby Sport was a thing that was made. Now he's on Marketplace, so we've lost him.
Yeah. He'll be back for Lime Rock. Oh, whoa! Stunt granny going whoosh.
Oh, F's in chat for the F car there.
Oh, Nate's
it's not
back.
normal.
Oh no!
Totally regular things happening here.
Yeah, all those flights. Oh, more flights taking off right now. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh god. No, don't turn back. Okay, there we go.
Excellence was expected.
That's right.
Yeah.
Somebody emerged leading, allegedly. There you go. Dave Carpenter doing what he does. Good stuff. That was a good start. And Carl Edward
Yeah,
has no nose, and car 420 almost got crushed. So there you go. Good start. Good start to the race here at COTA.
Oh, there's Ron. There goes Ron.
because that's obviously the important thing that's we've learned about.
Yeah, and that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, there must be an Oldsmobile Alero convertible somewhere, like concept of some description. That seems like something GM would have done.
Totally.
Which would have been more likely, an Oldsmobile Alero convertible or an Oldsmobile Alero with T-tops?
Well, I know for certain they made like a...
Here we
Ryan
go.
delivers.
Well, because the Alero is the same chassis as the Grand Dam, right?
Yeah, I mean, flying machines. Oh man, we shouldn't pull it up and play it. But there is a video of the Pontiac Grand Dam's horrifying crash test with poor ratings, literally everything. So making it a convertible, since it's the same chassis, totally a great move.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a non-production concept, but you know, the point remains.
The only way that safety test could have gone worse is if like Bob Lutz showed up and just like shot your dog after you crashed.
Yeah.
He's got a cigar and a revolver. Just hang on, this will take a minute.
Yeah.
This is somebody at the crash test organization's like, I don't know how to score this.
Thanks for the raid. Welcome to the party.
Hey.
Ooh, raid. YouTube is doing a beta on raids right now.
Join the chat as we talk about terrible convertible conversions like the Oldsmobile Alero and Mercury Sable.
Come on, me. I just gotta go all the way around to get to pit lane.
I have a fancy that I need to own a convertible because I've never owned one. You know, and I've been trying to think about what kind of terrible convertible I could actually live with, and I haven't come up with a good answer yet. I mean, in theory, the idea is Geo Metro, but and they are so bad, the convertibles.
I mean, if we're going over bad convertibles that I'd live with, the one in mind isn't actually a convertible. It's that guy that took a B-body like Roadmaster wagon and chopped the roof off and chopped the windshield out and replaced it with like the boat windshield.
Yeah.
And it legitimately looks super cool.
Yeah.
Like,
one,
I'd get wet in the rain for that.
yeah. Well, you're in a boat. You may as well.
Yeah. Come on, pit lane. Come on, pit lane. Oh, come on. Turn.
It's
Okay,
like
there's pit lane. Woo!
fresh addition to the Lemons iRacing League, Christian Bishop, out ahead of everybody. So.
Oh yeah, he's really good. He's a member of our Late Night Lemons West Coast League too.
The chat says B-Body Barchetta, which pretty much...
It's the name of my Rush cover band.
That's right. Oh, man.
Oh, there we go. Now I can fix my wheel.
Yeah, this dude's good. Hey, look at that. There's talented people around Lemons sometimes. Yes. A V8 Alero, did that have the Aurora motor? I feel like that's where that would have landed.
Oh, that would have to be.
Yeah.
That's another terrible vehicle I want. I really want an Aurora.
What's crazy is they did a redesign. I mean, the original one looks spectacular. They're great looking cars, but when they did the refresh on them, they look even better.
Yeah, they're truly sharp.
We had one in Lemons at the very first race, and it got crushed because we had the People's Curse. Obviously long gone. We don't crush people's cars anymore. But Car and Driver brought, in 2006, they brought a 1999 Oldsmobile Aurora. And, people looked at it like, oh man, that thing is way too terrible and new. That is obviously cheating. And if people knew then what we know now about the Oldsmobile Aurora and what actually works at Lemons races, nobody would have been upset, even though it's Car and Driver.
Oh, Matt Sitko's in here. Hey. He loves his IndyCar stuff.
It's good. Yeah, I don't watch a ton of races, but I watched the IndyCar race yesterday on the Indianapolis Grand Prix. It was the craziest race I've watched, maybe ever. Totally worth watching at some point. No spoilers. Craig Fowler in the chat mentions the 90s Olds Cutlass convertible. That is a contender. Those are weird. They have like the picnic basket, like roll bar thing. that would just fold if you ever rolled it over. I don't really know what the point of that is other than to support like a cheap soft top, basically. But yeah, those are real bad. And they have the side cladding on them, and yeah, there it is. Oof. I still see the coupe and sedan versions of that. Actually, I do know why it has the overhead bar. And if you look at the B-pillar, I forgot that these have the door handle on the B-pillar of the door.
Oh.
You have to keep that part to be able to open the door. Because they couldn't redesign the door, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody at GM crunched the numbers and found that relocating the door handle is going to be an extra $1.83 a car, and that just wasn't going to fly.
No.
So instead, they had to keep the decapitator bar there.
Yeah. All those pennies add up, son.
I feel like that one also on the sedan and the coupe, especially the coupe, had the seat belt on the track on the door, strangle belt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Usually you got to pay extra for that. So.
Although while we're going over like these basket handlebars, the other one that really comes to mind is the PT Cruiser, and I love seeing PT Cruiser convertibles in white because they look like bathtubs. Like it's straight up a bathtub.
Yeah, it's super weird. Yeah, man, I don't know if I could live with a PT Cruiser. I just don't know if I could do it.
Well, why would you?
Yeah, I have owned a Chrysler product in my life. I don't know that I need to repeat that. Although it was a Plymouth Acclaim, and I will tell you, I have personal experience with the fact that it had a speed limiter at 118 miles an hour.
Oh.
Which, in retrospect, was one of the worst decisions I ever made in my life, was to find that. So, don't speed, kids.
Don't speed. Speaking of, I just did my quickest time, 147.858.
There you go.
That's right. I'm all about that time, even though I probably will not get fourth place.
B-bodies are really boring to speed in because they'll go right to that 108 mile an hour limiter, but with their gearing that's like 2,800 RPMs. So it's just kind of sitting there cruising. And that, not even like boomer exaggeration, you can literally watch the fuel gauge move at that point.
Oh no, I got murdered by Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, you'll have that on these jobs. I'm sorry, I just saw the words Trans Am LARP Group, and I didn't know you could put those words in that order.
So, what, we cosplay Smokey and the Bandit? Is that what's up?
No, I think he means the racing series, but yeah.
I'm going to reject that thought, and we're going to rewind this one back to Burt Reynolds' LARP.
Yeah, there you go.
Everybody has a mustache.
Yeah.
But it's on the outside of their helmets.
Good plan.
And we have Sally Field riding shotgun. Or, Lonnie Anderson, I believe? Yeah, the other one.
Yeah, this is. I'd go to this as a college freshman.
Yeah. There's one of the Hessers rolling over and dying, hitting the barrier at about 130. That's some chaff for Eric. It's like an actual race thing happening, so that's neat.
Yeah, that's neat. I remember racing. It was
Dave
fun.
Carpenter running fourth at the moment, so that is the generic iRacing livery.
Yeah, it looks like the iRacing livery. Or iRacing paint, anyway. Best you can do with Sir Lewis. I was in fourth until I had one of my front wheels get bent up near the end of the first lap.
I mean, it doesn't have to be round.
Common misconception.
Yeah. Square wheels are better. Thump, 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 thump.
So one of my coworkers bought a brand new Nissan a couple weeks ago, and I parked next to the thing, once, and I looked down at the wheel, and from the factory, it has like half a pound of sticky weights on a wheel.
Oh, you have the wheel weights, yeah.
Like it is amazing. Like if these things ever come loose, somebody will die. And Nissan was just like, yeah, send that.
Is it a black Nissan Rogue? I feel like that's the kind of thing that would be on a black Nissan.
It's on a silver Nissan Rogue, but yes.
Yeah, 6.1.
Buy Rogues at this point, or just rent them?
I feel like the rental fleets are basically Nissan dealerships.
Yeah, I know Enterprise has a deal with one. My local Enterprise, anyway.
It's just, they must be doing at least a quarter of their sales to fleets, and Mitsubishi must be doing half, so.
Mitsubishi is an HVAC company that has just forgot that they also have Outlander tooling.
Yep.
I would agree with that. Man. Hey, I have a trivia question that is germane to you all. What make was the 1914, quote, Tijuana taxi, unquote?
Tijuana taxi. Was it a Chevy?
No. Anybody?
Does it still exist, or at least fairly recently?
It does still exist.
Mercedes.
No, Armand is trying to get in there.
Is it a Renault?
You're really close.
Oh.
Try again.
Is it a Peugeot?
No, not a Peugeot.
Ah, damn.
It's the other one.
Citroen.
Yeah, it's a Citroen, apparently.
Yeah.
So there you go. Mexican taxis were Citroens?
Oh,
Who knew?
okay.
You've learned two things now. There's a Sable Convertible, and Tijuana taxi was originally a Citroen.
And then
This really is a learning program.
That's right. You're not going to find this on an info broadcast.
That's right. IMSA is all about that serious racing, TM. We're just about podcasting over races, TM.
We're here to educate you about things.
That's right. Things you never wanted to know or never thought you wanted to know, and maybe you don't want to know, but we're going to educate you anyway. I'm in second? Is it second in class? I might be second in class. Because I don't know who fourth place actually is at the moment.
Stun Granny, I thinking that the Tijuana taxi was a Beetle. There might have been a small time between 1914 and the Beetle, at least 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, the pre-World War I car world was slightly different, as I understand it.
I like how somehow this entire show so far is either directly or indirectly, orbited around coach builders.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't it?
All the
Completely
greatest
fair
cars.
point.
Yeah. I mean, Body by Fisher is the greatest thing that's happened in the last 50 years.
Oh, Nate Levine is in the Sir Lewis special. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Mystery man right there.
Whoa, shit. Woo! All right.
I too like to get my racing lines from Rick James coffee table.
Oh, God. That's one of my favorite jokes ever. I love you, racing lines. I love you, racing lines.
Yeah, you'll have that.
On these big jobs.
Yeah, there's almost a race going on.
Almost, yeah. I mean, there's some semblance of a race somewhere happening.
Yeah.
sometime. Phil McCandless, another one of the new to Lemons iRacing races.
Yeah, I wonder if he's related to Blake McCandless.
He's his twin, actually.
Oh. Well, shout out to Monday Night Racing, which we're going to see a little tribute to from yours truly in this upcoming Enduro. But we'll get to that later. Right now, we're going to see how long we have to taxi before the big wreck fest.
3 minutes to go here. Phil McCandless races the former Jackalope Volkswagen Rabbit on the West Coast, which is a car Armin is familiar with. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
He's the new owner of it. I think him and his twin then, I guess. Is that right, Ryan?
I'm not sure if they own it, but yeah, I think they're involved for sure.
Yeah.
Huh. I had no idea Blake had a Lemons connection. That's cool.
Yeah, they were started racing at Sonoma, I think last spring, something like that. So they've been racing a Volkswagen Rabbit that has some provenance. It's been around for years. Had the jackalope theme with the cowboy on the roof. A picture of that, I suppose. So I believe, Armin, do you have the record for John Pagel's Dyno for the lowest horsepower ever recorded? Do I remember that right?
Well, I'm not sure if it's the record low, but it's down there. Yeah, it was. So the conceit was me and Pete Peterson, who raced Lemons, were going to have a contest, and whoever got the highest dyno at John's, or the highest reading on John's dyno, was going to get $20 in nickels.
Oh.
And Pete had a MGB that he actually raced at Lemons. I think he won the IOE a couple of times. And I had my Sunbeam Alpine, and I drove up to John's shop in Sacramento, like an hour away in the Alpine, and got there and then was waiting for Pete to show up. And then turned out he had, with the poor MGB, made it about 10 miles away from his house and then just started, not working. I think the description was multiple spun bearings and zero oil pressure. So I did put down a 66 horsepower at the wheels reading and won the $20 in nickels.
Well done. For making it there. Which I think Pete lived up the mountain from Sacramento at the time. You're both like an hour away.
Yeah, we're both like an hour away, so
66 screaming horsepower. Sunbeam.
yeah. I mean, that's about what it would have made stock.
Yeah.
I had noticed it's not running quite as well lately. The first thing I did was I got one of those phone apps for, idiot street racers to measure my times, and laid down a 20-second 0 to 60, so I could tell something was wrong. So I ran a compression test and got first 3 cylinders 120 psi, so nice and consistent, and then the fourth one was 60. So
I mean, it's a factor of 120. Yeah. So I mean, probably fine. As Phil said, if every cylinder had 60 psi, it'd be fine. Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, totally. Fine machine. Damn fine machine. Maybe that's the convertible that I need to live with.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
What's crazy is the Sunbeam Tiger, which is just that, but actively trying to murder you at all times. People really want those.
Huh?
They're like worth money.
Oh, they're worth crazy money now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the stock Tiger was twice the horsepower of the Alpine with the same tires and brakes and suspension. But the thing is, the stock Tiger was a 2-barrel 260. And no one's just going to leave a stock 2-barrel 260 in their Project Tiger. So they all have
302s.
302s, 4 barrels, and they all get wrapped around telephone poles.
Yep, sounds right. Coming to the end here. Looks like Christopher Bishop winning on debut. So
Yep.
Right.
So we head into the crash fest at the top of the hill, I assume? Yeah, there's usually...
There it is.
Oh, jeez.
Here,
Just
here
gotta
I
sneak
come.
through you right there.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah, EJ Bird.
Boom! Officer Lewis.
Well done.
Alright.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
The crash fest that ends these races. Always the most entertaining part as we break iRacing's physics
Yeah.
setup.
Alright. Six. Yes.
It's like Eric Hesser last to come to the line. He will probably send himself into orbit if there's anybody left to hit. Is he still racing with an Xbox controller? That looks smooth.
Yeah, I think he's still no pedal, no wheel, just like yours truly.
That's impressive.
Yeah, no pedal, no wheel mafia.
Oh, he's got somebody lined up. Yeah, maybe. Boy, it's blind till you get up there, isn't it? No, just into the wall. Well, that was anticlimactic.
Yeah.
It was pretty great still.
Yeah. How fast was he going when he hit the wall? It doesn't give you the speed on the replay. It gives us speed in real time. It was a lot. It was many
It was a
miles
lot,
per hour.
yeah. It was plaid.
There we go. So that'll wrap up the first race of the evening. Pretty well done, everybody.
Yay!
So we head towards the Enduro at Lime Rock Park.
Alright.
Yeah. Probably already in the practice there. Oh, that's a good one right there.
Ooh, look at that beautiful bean footage.
Ron Harrington never fails to make something spectacular. Very well done, Ron. I believe I will see him at New Jersey Motorsports Park somewhere.
Oh, Jared Duclos is our real winner TM.
There you go. Bear Pope just off the winner's spot there. So, well done.
And I came in 14th. Overall.
See, in there.
I like the guy hanging on the fence there. It's a nice
Yeah.
touch. So we are headed to the next race at Lime Rock Park.
Alright.
Of course, as we do this, our next iRacing date, we do one a month. It's June 18th. That's a Saturday. Also going to be an endurance race at Watkins Glen with some kind of opening race like this that is, pointless and stupid and fun for everybody involved. Because if you're not having fun, I don't know why you would be doing this. If you want to join us, you can go to www.isuckatracing.com. You can follow the information or follow the directions there to sign up and come join us and race with us on June 18th. Coming up in the real world, we have the Yokohama Days of Thunder Hill at Thunder Hill in California on May 28th and 29th. I believe you'll be there, right, Armand?
Yep. Excited. Looking forward to it.
Yep, Thunder Hill's always a good turnout, and because of the, shall we say, remote nature of its location, it's a good atmosphere at the track because there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
Always a positive. And then coming up on the weekend after that, that's the BFE GP at High Plains on June 4th and 5th. That's in Colorado. After that is the Yokohama Real Hoopties of New Jersey on June 10th and 11th at New Jersey Motorsports Park in Millville. We do have some pretty cool stuff happening at that race. We've got some definitely well-known YouTube personalities building cars for this race, which more details on that soon. And then at the end of June is the Rust Belt Grand Prix at Gingerman Raceway. Again, like Thunder Hill, really good atmosphere, lots hanging out at the track, things like that. And then in mid-July is the Rust Belt Ramble Lemons Rally, which will leave out of Detroit, stopping overnight in Dayton, Pittsburgh, and then ending in Buffalo. So you can sign up for all those things on the 24 Hours of Lemons website, 24hoursoflemons.com. And if you don't have a car, you're welcome to come spectate at the races as well. You can get those tickets online. So there, all my plugs shoved into the between race bit, so you don't have to listen to them later. So there you go. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
You know, if we're going to start having well-known YouTube personalities do, races, I say we start looking for personalities that have nothing to do with automobiles. Like, I want to see a random, babushka wearing grandmother who has a baking channel. I want to see her, stuffed into a third gen Camaro just to see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a fine idea.
I like this idea as well.
Yeah. Or Instagram models who are terrified of cars.
That kind of happened already.
Yeah. True enough. Yeah. All right, we head to Lime Rock Park in Northwest Connecticut.
Historic Lime Rock Park.
Yeah, the track with the worst names in corners, like the uphill, the downhill, and the left.
And the
good
right.
imagination. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reflects the simple Puritan nature of its setting.
That's right.
Fair. That's a fair point. And of course, I mispronounced one of those. It is the downhill, and then the uphill, brought to you by Howard Dean's failed 2004 presidential campaign. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just like that slide right there. Oh yeah, so now I can show everybody. Okay, so speaking of McCandless and Monday Night Racing, normally on Monday nights, I'm just a social media manager for Podium Esports. Well, Ryan produces that stuff. But, thank you, Ryan. Last Monday, almost a week ago tomorrow, I sponsored a Monday Night Racing driver, and not just any driver. I sponsored Adam Cabot, the Season 4 Monday Night Racing champ. He wore my Auburn on Vineyards Auburn on Noir colors, which is very dark purple with foil gold, foil red. He took those colors to second place at Martinsville. So in honor of that, silver place, I give you Cabot Silver number 17.
All right.
Yeah.
Who's in Oz?
Yeah. Little metallic matte blue and silver, and then a matte metallic bluish whites.
I dig it.
Yeah, thank you. I whipped that together this morning.
Is this is the Global MX-5 Cup, which is in the middle class B, racing TDIs and Legends and Skip Barber cars. There you go.
That's right. And away I go.
You could probably hear my neighbor's dog barking, which is always a nice touch to remind everybody that I'm broadcasting from my home. Jason Scarborough, one of our other newbies, races a teal Honda Civic in the south. So good to see him also racing a teal car here.
Oh, Santi's here. Hey, I haven't seen Santiago Iglesias in a while.
Hey, yeah. Famed no pedal, no wheel racer Santiago Iglesias, who used a real Buick's CAN bus system to drive an iRacing car.
Mm-hmm.
That's real racing provenance.
That's right. Ooh, these wheels. Oh, these tires are cold. Come on, warm them up, baby. Oh, and if you're wondering what Cabot Silver 17 tastes like, it's an ice wine. And ice wines are generally dessert wines. Very sweet. Very expensive, too.
Somebody just hella butt-ass died there.
Yeah, I think that was...
The uphill brought to you by Howard Dean's failed 2004 presidential campaign.
Yeah!
Ja.mp3.
Yep. MP3.
Oh, Matt Sitko. Bear Pope.
Oh,
It's quality bouncing there and testing the physics model as it's kind of a pogo stick kind of deal there.
It doesn't quite stick the landing. I don't think the East German judge is going to be kind to him for this.
He gives him a 5.
Nice four-wheel drift there from Ed Smith following Matt Sitko. And then collecting, yep. It's a quality shot, Ryan. I appreciate that work. This is why Ryan is the best in the business.
That's right.
He has detached one arm from the steering wheel in order to fist pump and scream.
Where is that from?
I forgot that we have those saved. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's from professional racer Ryan Lewis, who
that's
joined us
right,
for
yeah.
an episode. And it critiqued one of Nate Schlavine's videos that was sent to him as a driver coaching and mocked him relentlessly. One of the greatest pieces of Lennon's video that exists.
Yeah, he also warned me about the silver NSX I drove at Sonoma. I kind of scuffed it up a bit. Because I drove an NSX at Sonoma. But it was the Indy yellow one, so we're all good. Also, is it me, or are there a lot of boring paints tonight? And if they're not, do I need to reload trading paints?
Oh, Lemons Racer Lee Tuck randomly in the comments. I did not know you watched this, Lee Tuck. I'm glad to see you on here. He apparently owns a Sunbeam Tiger. That's awesome. And he survived in it, so that's good.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah. You have to tell me about it at next time I see you. Should be somewhere in the south. You know.
Okay, let me hit Control R. So, whoa, wow, 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 wow. We got good fuel data. Yes. How come we didn't get TJ Majors to record that line, though?
Like, yeah, lots of boring paint. Kind of not into. Might have to throw some penalty liveries on if you have any.
Oh, yeah, I have the punishment.
Any back in the field.
Ooh.
Lee, I will not be at High Plains, unfortunately. Be at Thunderhill, I will be at New Jersey. I will not be at High Plains.
Ryan, do you have the original Auburn on Vineyards colors? We can slap
There's a
on one
Homer
of these
Simpson
Miatas.
right there.
All right, perfect.
So this is David Bryan. He's from somewhere around here, but I believe he's also an NIU alum, as I am. And he's put all of the things from Dekalb, which is close to my hometown, Illinois. So yeah, Ollie's Frozen Custard, famous place there. Barbed wire on the roof, Northern Illinois. Dan Castellaneta, who was Homer Simpson, is an alum. And on the left rear corner, as he just about scrapes it off there, is Cindy Crawford, famous Dekalb resident. That's our hometown. There you go. Dekalb, Illinois. Now you know about a place you've never heard.
Mm-hmm.
I spent many days in Dekalb as a youth, going to record stores and so forth. Because I'm old and I went to record stores.
Yeah, they used to have these things called records.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I'm just surprised and happy that you guys forego watching Jeopardy to be here tonight.
That's right.
We don't know Jeopardy's not on in the background.
Yeah, oh, that's true. I have drag racing on in my background. Let's see. Yes.
I do think the Rockford Speedway spectator drags are a wonderful option for background videos because they just kind of blend in another monitor and you see some guy in like a Grand Am just plowing through a dryer.
Yeah. Yeah, there's two really good spectator drags. There's the Rockford Speedway spectator drags, and there's one somewhere in Maine, I think.
Yeah.
Those ones are great. There's usually like a fist fight or some shoving or something. Does Andrew Pullman have an action park? Is that Action Park? Yes. Oh, Andrew Pullman, yes. Oh, perfect.
Class Action Park, baby.
Yeah. Action Park. Oh man, how do you even begin explaining Action Park? It was like it was an amusement park in New Jersey, and I don't really know if you need to add anything to it.
Nah.
The guy who ran it was like a weird libertarian,
Yeah.
including his approach to like
Liability.
you shouldn't need, besides liability, it's like you shouldn't need an engineering degree to design a ride.
I know, right?
It's not, right?
I guess the best way to experience it would be to go on YouTube and find a Headbangers Ball episode where Ricky Rackman and Allison Chains went to the park. Just watch the interviews and you'll see them play on the stuff. They had no idea about it.
The blood splatters on the car are a nice touch. So,
Yeah.
I mean, among the things that are famous about it there was like an alpine sled ride that was like a hand-operated, it was like a handbrake on this weird thing in like a concrete track, and like the brakes never quite worked well.
Yeah, because I think it was a ski resort during the winter,
Right.
and so everything was on a hill.
Yeah. And then there was also, they eventually built a water slide, because there's also a water park or something.
Yeah.
There's a water slide that was a loop that like people just absolutely fell off the top of. Dude died on the sled. Yeah, people died in most of the things or were maimed, and yeah.
Well, they had the one water slide that was essentially the equivalent of a park employee just chucking you off of a bridge like 30 feet above a lagoon.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Like half of Class Action Parks rides could be summed up as mafia money extortion tactics.
Hey, old Greg.
Old Greg, yeah. Funky ball of tits racing there.
What you doing on the track?
Yeah. I haven't seen that show in a really long time, but I always thought the Mighty Boosh was pretty funny.
Have you ever drunk beans from a shoe?
Yeah. Old Greg and was that the one with Bitty? Was that the Mighty Boosh, or was that the other one? Little Britain. Also a great show. There you go.
Show.
The Mighty Boosh song. I just wanted to throw that out there.
There
Mighty
you go.
Boosh song. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, I need to pull over. I need to start my Weather Star 4000 emulator. Hold on. Yeah.
There you go. There's the
Now
Moosh
it's
song.
ketamine.
I told you Ron Harrington delivers. Yeah,
Alright.
that's amazing.
That's right. Wake up and go back to bed. That's what that one is all about.
Yeah.
Let's see. I need to run you.
Wake up and choose a K-hole with Mooshlong
Yeah.
PM.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. The nighttime stumbling, slurring, happy ending, knock you the fuck out beverage. There you go.
That's right.
Moosh Long PM.
God, this is fantastic, even by Ron standards.
Yeah.
Oh, Santi's having problems connecting. Hmm.
And he yeets himself into the barrier.
You?
Yeah. It just Jetta things. You never lift.
That's right. No, I separate.
And Derek Gilray running the Mooshlong mornings. There you
That's
go.
right.
Wake up and choose violence.
Now available at your local Stop and Shop.
Oh,
And
there's
some
more
Rural
Simpsons.
Kings.
And some Rural Kings. That's right.
Yeah. The Legends car has a Homer on the deck lid also.
Now also available at O'Reilly's.
Man, I wish the monorail Lumina was closer to me geographically, because I would have daily driven that.
I think that thing got crushed. I'm not positive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it got crushed.
Yeah. It was not a good time for Mike Austin, who ended up with it. It caught on fire twice. Both times he tried to race it. It's just like, yeah, I'm okay with this going away.
Yeah, that will do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some of the paints haven't loaded, which, it happens.
Okay, I was wondering. It's like, think they're slowly coming too.
And there's also, you have to have team paint also.
Yeah, that's true
with
too.
the Enduros, so
Yeah,
weird glitches in the weird system.
the Matrix. Yeah.
Kevin Mopes has the weeb-tastic Camaro as well, and Tyler Stank looks to have the Buzzed Hornist livery going on as well. Tyler famously drove an iRacing car using a French horn in ways that we can't possibly explain. You just kind of got to go back and dig for it.
And even watching it as it happened, it's still kind of fuzzy.
Yeah.
I'm
What about
pretty
the guy with the
15.
saxophone where his roommates told me could never do that again?
That was Tyler. I thought that was Tyler.
Was it Tyler?
Yeah, maybe
okay.
it wasn't.
No, there was a
I
span
didn't
where
think
like
so.
there were half a dozen people doing instruments.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Right.
We need to
Let's see, you need to switch to
encourage
baseball
some more
now.
of that. But yeah.
All right.
You know, we still never got the no pedal, no wheel controller that's just a board with some nails in it and some bare wire.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
the pickle,
that's
the electrified pick.
Occam's iRacing.
Welcome's Irish. Ah. Hi, Ron. You got 2 bits of alcohol next to each other. Ooh. Some ice wine and some beer that'll knock your ass out real quick. Is it time? It is time. Okay, here we go.
Cool spam in the chat. That's neat.
Oh, yeah.
I'll click on it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. We've gone international, baby.
Yeah. Man. Only Vlad's has caught up with us.
Only Vlad's. Oh, here we go. Whoa. Ah. Come on. We're all checking up here. We're all checking up here. Here we go. There we go. Woo! Oh, it's the Speedy Boys. Oh, that's right. See, kids, in these Enduros, the faster class is behind me. Oh, I just hit one. Hope I didn't need that mirror.
God damn, this haiku's hard to read.
Oh, I got spun! Oh, shiz! Oh, I got pushed! Okay.
I feel
Well,
like
now
I'm somehow reading a transcript from a cockpit voice recorder at the end.
From the black box that gets recovered from the wreck.
Yep, that's it. That seems about right, yeah.
It's like a courthouse stenographer got chucked into a blender.
Oh, no.
Well, if he was dying, he wouldn't bother to carve it in the stone now, would he?
Valid, very, very valid.
Let's see. Okay, it looks like I have to pit in because I did get some damage from that spin.
Glass.
Oh,
DJ
no!
Bird with the early lead there is the
I think Ron got hit, too.
go. The mighty Boosh, looking good. That Mustang looked like it might have some paint on it. Joseph Crummy, another one of the new people. So yeah, we could have at least five new people in this race. Always good to see. Thanks for being here. And he came with good paint too. And he's on a team called the Cool Guy Team, and I think that's about the coolest thing you can do in Lemons.
That is pretty.
Just to say uncool, but you know, if you were actually cool, you probably wouldn't be doing any kind of Lemons.
Yeah.
As he exits the uphill, brought to you by Howard Dean's failed 2004 presidential campaign.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, what's the number?
Oh yeah, pick a number, Armin. 1 through
1 and 28. Between 1 and 28, yeah.
Oh, hi. Hi, Skippy. Woo!
And 14.
14. Perfect. Right in the
Oh,
middle.
let's... Man, I have to pull in and get this fixed again.
I feel like average is kind of what you should be striving for in Lemons anyway, or slightly below.
I mean, in meat space lemons, finishing in like the average is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
For most things.
Finishing is an accomplishment, so yeah.
All right, let's see.
CFI Care asking if this is a destruction derby. Not really.
No, it's not supposed to be. No, not till the end.
Racing's supposed to be clean. You get points for going off the track and having contact and spinning and things like that. So.
All right, here we go.
There's Nate Schleveen with Homer on the back. Not sure what the... Oh, it's the Steel Mill episode.
We work hard, we play hard.
Oh, man. That is a theme I want to see in Beat Space Lemons for, I don't know, years, is the Steel Mill. Would have been a good Pittsburgh theme, frankly.
I'm just glad that there's a Pittsburgh race now, because Pittsburgh is just a treasure trove of themes.
Weird pop culture, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even get to work all of the few pop culture references I know into the pit race penalty rotation. But, I mean, the well is deep there. And, yeah. I mean, that's true of most localities, I suppose. You know,
I mean, if you ever need a punishment, you know, where you just need somebody to pound sand for 2 hours, you can send them to the Big Mac Museum and back. That'd be a quality time for all involved.
Are we talking Big Mac like the McDonald's sandwich? Or?
Yeah, the McDonald's sandwich was invented in the area, so there is a store that is the official Big Mac Museum, and it's just a McDonald's, except it has a 30-foot round, like, fiberglass Big Mac in the middle of it.
Kind of grotesque, frankly.
Oh, it is. It's terrible.
Yeah, I think it's grotesque.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's pretty good. Where is it? Is it like on the east side of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it's out in Irwin, so it's like 70 miles on the turnpike from Ohio.
So, yeah, all right. Yeah. From the track, which is in the northwest corner of the metro area.
And it would make them deal with frustrations of the Pennsylvania Turnpike. So really, this one should be used with caution.
Yeah, the Turnpike's my least favorite stretch of road in America, so...
Like, PA's is insanely expensive, and then you get through Ohio, and then you're bored, and then you get into Indiana, and you're somehow bored-er.
Yeah. Can confirm, was in Indiana earlier today.
Oh yeah, what was the number we picked again?
14.
14, okay. Well, I'm 3 away from that spot, so I gotta fight for it. At least I think I am, I don't know. 17th, yeah. So, just gotta catch number 14.
A lot of racing lines going through grass here. Just got some real high-tech scientific exploration being done.
Mm-hmm. Duclos has retired.
Well, good for him in this economy.
Never a given.
Never again.
Oh man, what year did Chrysler introduce the industry's first rust-proof body?
1957.
1962.
I missed yours, Armand.
For Chrysler's first rust proofing,
Yeah.
1980.
It says 1929, but I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, wood doesn't rust.
Yes.
Yeah. You could probably argue it's never actually happened. I don't know. What does rust proofing even mean, really?
Yeah.
Just coated in oil? Then I suppose everything in the 60s had it, at least.
Yeah.
It's that NHOU undercoating, or whatever they call it.
New Ho? Did you just say New Ho?
You know, they put that true coat on at the factory.
That new on at the factory.
No. Wait, I meant to say NHOH? I don't remember. I don't remember that undercoating. I just remember it from Map TV when they run that one show every afternoon with the same music from Epidemic Sound that I sometimes use, so
I don't know any of the words you just said, but it sounded good.
those are definitely words, as Randy would say.
Mhm.
Yeah, really the best undercoating is indeed moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I did some preventative maintenance this weekend, and I moved to Idaho.
Go.
Yeah, Arizona, Colorado. Some of California.
All the rubber weather stripping and bushings in the car are going to be shot, but it won't rust.
And the interior and the dash and yeah. Yeah, I guess probably the northern Great Plains is the best place to preserve cars, but nobody lives there, so there are
That's
no
true.
cars to be preserved.
Oh, I moved up a spot, so I'm
You see
2
her
away.
helmet in the mirror.
Oddly enough, a pretty decent place to find fairly rust-free cars is rural Michigan. Because once you get out in the sticks, they don't salt the roads ever because there's 4 people in a municipality. So there's just some really old stuff out there that just didn't rust away terribly quickly because it never got corroded to death.
I can see that. Upper Peninsula is the same way. You don't drive your car in the winter, you take the sled.
Yeah. There you go. Now we're educating these folks with some actual top tips.
There you
you
go.
go.
Some hot tech tips from the 24 Hours of Lemons iRacing League.
As you do. I actually was putting together a list of the 10 slowest cars that have ever been Lemons. Look at that pass that almost... It did come off.
Yeah, it worked.
Ish. Yeah.
10 slowest cars at Lemons.
Yeah. If you want to guess at any of them.
I'll say VW 412
Yeah, the 411 is definitely one of them.
or 411 and the DAF.
Where did the DAF is one of them too.
The Jet Electrica 007.
That is the absolute slowest. Well, that kind of. There's another one that was.
Asterisk.
There was another one that was slower, but it went so slow that it never actually finished a lap because it would go out and then come back in through the pit. Or on the
That was
middle
the
loop.
starting part.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Yeah, you got 3 of the big ones. The DAF was awful.
By awful, you mean glorious?
Oh yeah, it was spectacular. I mean, any of the slowest cars in Lemons are spectacular in their own ways.
We're not going to Lemons to see normal race cars. That's boring.
Yeah, that's boring. This is as normal as we get, is the iRacing version thereof. And that's only because they don't have DAFs and Jet Electricas in it, so...
Are we counting the Mrs. Puff's boating school Accord wagon in the last 4 hours from that Gingerman race last year?
When they're running on 2?
Yeah, when they were running on 1 1/4 cylinder for an entire day.
Well, the only way I can measure it is by fastest lap, so it had gone faster at that point. So it doesn't really count. But
That was just spectacular.
Yeah, it was pretty great. The slowest one that's ever completed a quarter of the distance of the winner, which is a good way to measure whether a car is actually run, is the Volkswagen Transporter that was done up like a minion at MSR Houston. Yeah, I need to find a picture of this thing.
Is that a bus or a van again?
Yes, it's a bus. Yeah, like an original, not a Vanagon, like before a Vanagon.
Classic, man.
Yeah, the roof had already been chopped off it.
Oh Lord!
So they just, yeah. I mean, I think it was 2016. 14. Damn, that was a long time ago. But yeah, it was special. It was a special car. But you know, it had the original running gear. It was a Volkswagen Transporter in every sense of it. It was like the pickup truck version that had like the weird truck bed.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can get a crew cab version. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool if you wanted to drive a 4,500 pound vehicle that had, I don't know what, 40 horsepower? I don't know my Volkswagen engines.
Yeah, I think the 1200 were like 40 horsepower.
Yeah.
Later.
There you go. I'm sending Ryan a picture now of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is wonderful and yet awful.
Yeah. It's everything Lemons should be.
Yeah.
The slowest car that ever ran was yeah, there it is. Just take a moment to drink that in.
Clip, clip, clip.
It always goes down smooth.
That's right. There you go. Yeah, the slowest car that ever raced in Lemons was Hunatic Racing built the first electric car out of a Datsun Fairlady, like a 68. And they used like forklift batteries and motors. And the top speed was approximately 13 miles an hour.
Excellent.
Yeah, and it like ran out of juice like on one lap. So they were told not to bring it back. So they did something about that. So they upgraded it and then built a super terrifying home-built charging system that also got the car banned. So they were told in no uncertain terms to bring it back, or never to bring it back. But
double banned.
Yeah. So it took like 8 minutes to do a lap of MSR Houston, but it came into the pit, so there's no official time for it. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Fine. Everything's fine.
There you go. Those are some of the slowest cars. There's also the Renault Fuego Turbo.
Fuego for fire.
The Humber Super Snipe.
Which those are both glorious cars. Thank you.
They're perfect. Yes. This is, by the way, a list of cars you should be considering bringing to Lemons.
Yeah.
And then the Fiat 600D with the Moto Guzzi engine.
Oh, I remember that. That thing was but awesome.
Yeah. It is now illegal.
Yeah. Because the
Wheelbase is too short. But at the time, that rule didn't exist. So they had I talked to the guys about it because they still have a Fiat that they race, a Fiat X19 with a rotary in it. Brilliant ideas. But the Moto Guzzi is air cooled and obviously wasn't getting any airflow during the race. And the cylinder head temps were like 400 degrees or something.
Ooh,
They were driving it based on the cylinder head temperature gauge.
Yep.
And they finally rigged up what they referred to as a total loss cooling system, which I thought was really clever. It turned out they just had like a spray bottle that they were spraying on it every now and then.
Yeah.
Like spray a little water into the airflow so that the engine gets kind of wet.
Yeah. It's liquid cooled in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
And there were also fans or ducting or something going on.
But it sounded really cool.
Yeah. Also, the team captain's name is Chris Iceman. That is his actual name.
Also
That's
really
the coolest
cool.
name. Yeah. Yeah, that is also among the 10 slowest cars. And there was a Ford Fiesta at Sonoma many, many years ago that I don't even remember it or know what it looks like. And then the Borgward Isabella, of course. And just outside the top 10, Randy, would you hazard a guess at what that might be?
Does it rhyme with Limca?
It does. It does.
Yeah, I believe that glorious French tractor, not terribly speedy.
Yep. There you go. All great cars you should bring. You should bring a Borgward. You should bring a Simca. You should bring a DAF. You should bring the Volkswagen 411, a Renault Fuego Turbo, Super Snipe. All fine machines.
A Fuego Turbo shouldn't actually be that slow.
It was so bad.
Extremely bad and broken.
Yeah. They were working on that car constantly. And it was, I think they had, it had like a permanently blown head gasket, and swapping it with the unobtainium head gasket did basically nothing.
I remember when there was a...
That's excellent, by the way, the Pepsi Bismol.
So the Fuego Turbo shares the motor with the Peugeot 505 Turbo, which my dad drove when I was a little kid. Like that. And there was a Lemons 505 Turbo, and one of the guys who they got to race at the Sonoma race a few years ago was the guy who had raced a 505 Turbo to a showroom stock title in the 80s. And so this guy is like the 505 Turbo whisperer. And he was explaining to me is that, the thing people did with them is, they would step on the throttle before the engine is properly heated all the way through. When there's a lot of hot exhaust gases and the coolant's not hot, it cracks the head. And I was like, and so is, if you let it warm up properly, it'll never break. And I thought, well, that makes a lot of sense. And then 10 minutes later, it occurred to me, he's like, hey, you know what doesn't have that problem? Other turbo
car. Yeah. Literally every other turbo car has not that problem. Yep. The QR code, by the way, goes to a YouTube video of Guy Fieri eating to hurt by 9 Inch Nails. So.
Oh my. Okay. I guess what would make it darker and sadder equals darker would be the cover by Johnny Cash.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the cover is pretty faithful to the original.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Renault Fuego Turbo, though, I mean, if Lemons had its choice, every race would just be all Renault Fuego Turbos. That's obviously impossible because they're all gone.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I'm fairly sure the official 24 Hours of Lemons Facebook page still has their only 2 likes listed as Renault Turbo Fuego and Hall & Oates.
Doo-doo. Oh. Kind of dive bomb in front of somebody.
That is correct, by the way. The only 2 things... the only 2 things on our interests is Renault Fuegos and Hall & Oates. Yeah.
I see you. Do you see me?
I still need to put that together for a Meat Space theme, the Holland Oats.
Oh, yeah.
Holland Oats, Dutch guys.
Yeah, same, somewhere in that idea. Haven't really cooked the whole thing through yet.
Amsterdam guys, they're watching you. They see your Renault Fuego. Oh yeah, Amsterdam guys.
It could also be for the DAF.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Yeah. Man, the DAF was So, like, supposedly, I'm really veering off into car coupe territory here. It's like, supposedly, they started making these cars for Dutch people.
Yes.
Most, after World War II, and most of them had never driven a car before. Most of the customers for these were, new car users, which was also the case in other countries. People driving 2CVs or Fiat 500s had probably never driven a car before either. But the DAF, they decided, well, we should just make this as easy as possible. So they built the first continuously variable transmission, which we got to examine in detail when I was at the track. It's so there's no differential. There's basically just two sides of this thing, and it looks like the belt that you'd use for a vacuum cleaner or something.
Oh yeah.
It's basically all with like vacuum and centrifugal force. So apparently it is very strange to drive. I didn't get the chance to drive it. And when it did go, it was terrifyingly slow.
But no, Nissan took that technology and screwed everything up.
Yeah, it's going great.
Going great, babe.
And I guess every Subaru has a CVT now, right?
Yeah, seems that way, yeah.
Yeah, but Subarus are pretty decent at least.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I moved up a spot. I'm now 15th.
I mean, transmissions have never really been Subaru's strong point.
It's all about that boxer and stuff.
Engines have never really been Subaru's strong point.
And gaskets have never been Subaru's strong point.
Oh!
Come to think of it, Subaru's strong point is really the cult following, and
that's right.
That's kind of the end of the strengths list.
Yeah, it's that good-ass marketing. And the Stage 3 kit. Woo!
Yeah.
You guys remember that last facelift we did that, was pretty out there and nobody really liked? Yeah, well, we were going to replace it with something that's somehow worse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just Subaru. Why? And we race Subarus, and I don't know why we do this.
Oh, we were talking about Subarus. Sorry, I stepped away for a minute. Carry on.
We were going over Subaru's strong points. You missed nothing.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally the list is nothing.
People seem to think you're eco-friendly somehow, for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, what's more eco-friendly than getting like 60% fuel efficiency of anything else that size?
Yeah, to that end, I remember I was listening to NPR because I'm, one of those people. But they were giving away a Subaru, and they were like trying to think of like, what's great about it? Well, it's got all-wheel drive, which you need for the winter in Chicago, which is patently false. And then they're like, and it gets good gas mileage. Yeah, it gets good gas mileage.
It's good gas mileage.
No, it doesn't. Lies.
It gets gas mileage.
It
Good
gets
gas mileage? No, it gets gas mileage.
It gets gas. Also,
There is an number at the end of,
Yeah.
gas mileage is.
Yes. And of course, NPR is the official radio station of Subaru.
Sounds right.
I will say there is one thing that they did properly well. I borrowed a Legacy SUS a couple weeks ago, which is a second-gen Legacy sedan that got the Outback lift and those like additions and such. So it was a sport utility sedan. That thing was great for bombing through like terrible brick roads in very urban places. because you didn't feel anything, and you could just drive over curbs if you wanted to.
Plan.
Oh, let's see if I get a lap back, because
Did
the
not
leader
know
is
that.
winning now. Bam.
I've never heard of the SUS.
Yeah, the SUS is a great car.
I had a friend many years ago who had a Legacy, maybe it's an Impreza. It's front wheel drive only, like the base model with a stick. He drove it from basically St. Louis to Chicago and back every weekend. And it had 380,000 miles on it, I think.
Wow.
And it ran flawlessly.
Nothing like
it was-
it, maybe.
Yeah. It's the only time I've ever heard of that happen.
The EJ22 is a legitimately fantastic engine. I mean, it somehow gets 17 miles to the gallon and makes all of 108 horses, but it'll do it forever.
Yeah. It's understressed or whatever. I don't know. But his first car had been a Brat, which he also adored. He was part of an early Subaru family. Have some chat for JP Murray there. Smoking Popes. Hey, that's a reference. That's a Chicago reference I get. Band from Chicago. Smoking Popes. Anyway, yeah, so he had a Brat, and then when he sold his Legacy or Impreza or whatever it was, he decided he needed the sequel to the Brat. So he bought a Baja, and it was terrible.
Nobody has ever needed a Baja.
When I'm seeing the, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Eric.
No, you were on it.
I was thinking, I'm seeing the new Ford Maverick and the Hyundai Santa Cruz, and I want to see some car magazine do a comparo of those two versus, the 15 years ago idea of a small unibody pickup truck, the Subaru Baja.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Is this a race or a night of hot takes? Well, you've seen the
Yes.
podcast before, Luis. You know this goes.
It's everything.
They bought their
Baja-
tickets, but they knew what they were getting into.
That's
right.
right. That's right. That's right, Luis. You know what you're getting into.
Yeah, you paid for the whole seat, but you only need the edge, as we say things like Subaru is terrible.
Yeah.
Up
Oh.
a little bit farther.
Oh, I killed
Luis-
Tyler.
No. But Luis mentions the Subaru 360 and R2 mini car, so this is someone who gets it.
Yeah, totally.
Who understands our hot takes.
That's right. He also mentioned the Leone and the FF. That's what totally boggles my mind about early Subaru in the United States is that the naming convention makes absolutely no sense. Like, the same car had like 5 different names in the United States in the same market, and sometimes it was just a 2-letter code, and sometimes it was a name, and it was unclear if they were trims or the same car or different cars. Yeah, weird brand. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Alright. I'm trying to service right now.
I cannot get over the Baja because the 3rd gen Outback was so not great, and then the Baja somehow made it so much worse.
Yeah,
So if you have that, but worse.
yeah. There is one. I don't know if it's on an episode of Lemon's World that's been posted or not, but there is definitely somebody spotted an entire yard in southern Illinois full of Subaru Bajas.
Oh,
like
Lord.
literally 6 of them in one yard. It's just like,
Wow.
and they're not in disrepair. Like there is a Subaru Baja person, which is not surprising. I mean, if you've been around Lemon.
Wait. Is this the guys who let the dogs out, the Baja men?
Damn.
Yep, there's your theme for when
Yeah.
you race a Baja. Yeah, don't do the Baja 1000. The Baja Men is absolutely where it is.
Well, I just burned through my
But you
fast
have to
repairs.
do every Baja Men song that's not Who Let the Dogs Out.
I spent 3 years on that
I don't
toilet.
even know if there are other ones, but yeah, those are the ones you have to do.
Yep, that is I mean, you got to do it Nyan car style, where it's you have the entire bed is speakers, just blasting Baja Men at 130 decibels all weekend.
What's the pain threshold for decibels?
It's 120, but yeah. It can be quieter for Baja Man. The pain threshold is adjustable for that, so it's fine. Everything's fine.
I mean, the same thing does need to be applied for a Vengabus theme one of these days.
I mean, we've been asking for a Vengabus theme for years now, so somebody's got to do that.
I want to see a race where 3 of them show up without planning it. Day 3, I've heard nothing but a round of Vengabus for 3 days. I don't know if I'm coming home.
My dearest Martha.
I do not know if I will ever see you again.
Keep going. That's fantastic. You have the voice for it.
Yeah, it's the COVID that's doing it. It's like, my dear Martha, the Vengabus keeps going through the pits and it haunts my dreams. I do not know if I will ever come home or if I will be trapped on the Vengabus.
If I make it home, will it just be my body, but my soul still on the Vengabus? I do not know.
All I know is that the Venga boys are coming. Oh, just like Santi.
Yeah, I mean, this needs to be slow shot, like Ken Burns style, with the slow pan over the Vengabus, a still photo.
Zoom in.
Yeah. There we go.
There could be a knife fight between the Six Flags old guy representative from each team.
Yeah, just like oh man. Oh, somebody's got it. Shares believe over and over and over. Secret Ruse.
I
Secret
don't
Ruse got that
know.
one. I mean, there's also
Afterlife.
I cannot remember the stand-up's name, but he played What's New Pussycat over and over and over at a restaurant.
John Mulaney.
John Mulaney, yes. And then played in between. He played It's Not Unusual like once, and then like 14 more. It's a great bit. But then I had a friend in high school who did that at a Pizza Hut once, independently many years ago. But he played. He ordered his pizza to go, and he played Hey Ya with $5 worth of plays on the jukebox, and then left after his pizza was ready. So perfectly executed, and probably a more annoying song than. No, nothing's more annoying than Cher, but good times.
I just keep thinking about John Mulaney being like in the Animaniacs theme song. Like he's the wild card line. Animani, totally insane. John Mulaney. Like it just gets stuck in my head.
Yep.
I can identify with this.
I am a one-issue voter, and this is my issue.
Again, thank you for coming to my TED Talk / stump speech. One other new racer in this, Zach LeBol. Good to see him. Thanks for being here, Zach. His Discord handle is Chevy Lumina APV, so he gets it.
Nice. We've had some of those at Lemons, right?
Yeah, the monorail was a Lumina APV.
Oh, that was that? Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Bad Decisions, Lumina.
That's a transport.
Oh, that's right, it is.
Yeah, we still haven't had an Oldsmobile Silhouette. That one is out there waiting for somebody.
That's one of those ones that I don't think I would ruin. That's a classic I won't ruin.
The Silhouette. Have you ever seen the interior of like the top trim?
Got a line that they won't cross.
Like that whole vehicle is just, it's so insane, but it's kind of good.
I'm here for Eric Rude's failed presidential campaign.
That's right. Yeah. I'm Eric Rude, and I am here to tell you about a desperate need for our country. There has been a sad lack of Vengabuses at local Lemons races.
Look, the Vengabus has to be built out of a Pontiac Transport.
That's right.
Oh,
I need you, as an American citizen, to find a Ford Aerostar or Oldsmobile Silhouette to make a proper Vengabus tribute.
How about old Silhouette with an Aurora V8?
Ah, perfect. Everybody wins.
Again, we're talking about things that I would daily drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a upcoming Lemons World on the North Star. It should be out in the next month or so. We didn't mention the Olds Aurora, which is perhaps a failed opportunity, so we might have put something in. Good shit, though. North Star. There's only one team that has been crazy enough to race a North Star, and it's turned out to not suck. It's the weirdest thing.
I remember there was the one in the early days, not like early days, but like a long, long time ago. There was a Seville, I think it was the SLS, not as fast as the STS, but it had hand controls because the original owner had been paralyzed or was like from the waist down, so it had hand controls, which the team members were not disabled and just decided, I guess they're redundant controls, so they don't they don't take out the regular pedals when you put the hand controls in or anything like that, but they just decided to mess around and do both, so you could do like 2 foot but with 1 foot and 1 hand. Sorry, again, I should say I have had a lot of cough syrup this weekend.
Oh yes, oh that scissor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Gimp Pimp.
The Gimp Pimp, and it was not slow, but it ate brakes like popcorn because it was a giant Cadillac.
Yeah, they eventually, there was a driver in a wheelchair who eventually drove it. Later, with the hand controls, because they're like, yeah, we should actually use these for somebody who
as long as we got
can't
them
race
there.
otherwise. Yeah. So that one, but there's the team out of Louisville that has 3 different cars with North Stars, and they all are spotless and hilarious to look at. So there should be a Lemons World episode coming out about those cars, including the Cadillac XLR. So,
which we figured out was the most expensive Cadillac ever sold, right?
I think so. Yeah. There was the early DeVilles in the 50s that were Rolls-Royce money. And those are kind of in the ballpark. But yeah, the XLR-V with the supercharger on a North Star was a $104,000 car in 2009. The normal one was only $80,000 for a Corvette with a North Star engine.
Yeah. Oh, Nash Levine, our fearless leader, is 14th. So
Perfect.
he holds on. He becomes a real winner team.
Yep. Phil McCandless, by the way, with a great team name of if anyone needs a driver for.
Let's see. How much time do I have left in the pits?
I do appreciate EJ Bird's Dodge Avenger. Or is that
That's Stunt Granny.
That's
He
Stunt
sent
Granny.
me he sent me his paint, so I made sure to put that one in there.
Yeah, the Pepsi Bismol Dodge Avenger is top notch.
So got about over 5 minutes to go for optional repairs, and then I can hop back out in 27th.
Luis Pagan mentioning the first Eldorados were signed by Pininfarina and are worth Bentley money. Those are spectacular cars.
That's, even before the Alante, where they would build the car and then ship it to Italy in a 747
Oh yes.
by Pininfarina. But those late 50s Eldorados, they would, start them in Michigan, ship them to Italy via conventional means, and then ship them from Italy.
Yep, I remember that.
Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine today. So I was driving back from Indiana, where I was helping another friend move. But we were talking about how the volume of car production in the 50s meant that, money would, the pricing was totally meaningless because everybody could buy a car, basically. But, the Cadillac cost 3.5 times what, a 57 Chevy cost.
Yeah.
It meant something to own a Cadillac in the 50s.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means to own a Cadillac now. I guess it means that you want to own a BMW, but also want to buy American. I don't know.
Probably. That sounds about right. Under 3 minutes to go. I hop back out.
Yeah, we're past the half distance point. Well, Phil McCann was leading from Aaron Lineman. And, Andrew Pullman running third with the Action Park car, as you do. Don't know who our class leaders are, but do we ever really care much about it?
No, not really. See, the Day Woo, number 12, is our yellow class leader.
Ah, there it is.
910. If anyone wants to drive, yeah, McCandless, he's leading. And then 1969 is our pink class leader. 3 laps down.
There you go.
There you go.
Huzzah. Maybe the only Solstice. Might be the only car in this class in the race.
I think that's what you need when you get a convertible, Eric.
Solstice? Yeah. It's not a terrible... Yeah, never mind. That's a terrible idea. Yeah.
Oh, we also lost Carl, Edward, and Matt Sitko while I'm in the pits.
I think, as much as I know I should own a Miata because they're just a car everybody should own at some point in their life, I don't know if I ever could. I mean, for one, they're overpriced at this point, but I feel like a Mercury Capri XR2 might be that car.
Ooh, yeah. Well, I can't get a Miata because I own a actual old British sports car, and if I ever drive a Miata, I'll realize I've wasted my life.
Right. There is that. I did want a long time ago to build a Miata with an MG 1800 in it because I thought that would be hilarious.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, and that would be the Class C Miata.
Didn't someone put a flathead in a Miata at one point?
Nobody's ever actually done it. A couple of people have threatened to do it and maybe started to do it. But I think I've got a guy talked into maybe building the first flathead Ford V8 for Lemons. He's a guy who builds engines for a living. Like he builds pro mod motors and 4,000 horsepower drag racing motors. Well,
then obviously he knows that the flathead Ford is just the pinnacle of engine engineering.
Well, yeah, I mean, he brings his, he builds motors for his Lemons cars and takes laps because he doesn't care. He's not out to win. He wants to drive a car that he builds. Yeah. But I was like, yeah, you should just put a flathead Ford in. It's a Ford Thunderbird. So I was like, it's all Ford then. And he's like, I kind of like that idea. So I'm been working on him. I hope he brings it.
Nice.
Somebody in the chat asking how you enter one of these races. You can go to isuckatracing.com. That is the actual URL for Lemons iRacing. There are instructions in there on how to sign up and join our league. And we have a race once a month. And then if you join the Discord server, a lot of the other participants hold other events on their own. And they kind of use the Discord to start their own events. So you can get in there and do some iRacing with Lemons people, and then come do the feature event once a month. So there you go.
That's right. And now I'm back on the road again. Only took about 14 plus minutes.
Stunt Granny, I believe, has subscribed to this channel at least like 5 times.
Yeah, resubs.
Thanks, Jason. Thank you, sir.
Yes, you do. Man, Haggard even got their branding into iRacing.
That's
That's
right,
impressive.
yeah.
Must have been a track update with that.
Yep, coming up on the Haggerty Bridge right now. Pew! Oh no! Keep it, Ron, keep it together. There you go.
So what made you buy Sunbeam, by the way?
Honestly, I just kind of found it on Craigslist and it worked. It was in the area and just sort of fell into my lap.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if yeah, it's probably odd for somebody to accidentally end up with a Sunbeam. That sounds atypical.
Yeah, I mean, it was the sort of car that I was always interested in, and I had heard of it before, and just saw it and thought, wow, this is really cool. Because I had my normal car was a E36 BMW, which of course later became a giant project of its own. By project, I mean I sent it to the junkyard.
Right.
But yeah, I just wanted something to like wrench on and play with.
Yeah. That's legit. I mean, what's crazy is there's all, Sunbeam is kind of the tip of the iceberg for weird in the US at least, like British cars. Like there's all these other, everybody knows MG and Triumph. Sunbeam is kind of like the tertiary one. And then, there you go.
The legendary quote. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, where else do you go from there? There's Morgan.
Electron.
Yeah. Bristol. I don't know. There's another like half dozen weird British made roadsters.
Yeah. And a lot of them are just like a guy in a ship.
Yeah, that's kind of the classic. But before that we had a Sunbeam Imp, which was a Hillman Imp.
Oh, it was so cool.
Rear-engined, powered by the fantastically named Coventry Climax engine.
I got to drive that Underhill.
Oh, awesome! How was it? Tell me about the Sunbeam Imp.
The Sunbeam Imp has it had fat tires on it when I drove it, so it had a lot of grip. Still had the original 4-wheel drum brakes, which were totally adequate because it weighs like 75 pounds. It had a real good motor in it originally. They're actually pretty fast for cars of that era and size. It's as fast as a Mini Cooper. But then that engine that was carefully built broke. So they put in the one that had come with the car when they got it, and I went out on track in that, and I went for like 5 laps of Thunderhill and used a quart of oil. And I was going like 10 tenths for most of the time, and I didn't realize that the yellow flag was under full course yellow, and I was flat out just not passing anybody.
Yeah.
That is a neat little car.
Yeah, there's a video of it. I think it's still on YouTube of Alex Fendler.
Yeah, he was
driving.
He was really going for it. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, like 4-wheel drifts around the hairpin at Sonoma and the whole thing. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
In this tiny car with 70 horsepower.
It's basically a tiny Porsche 911.
Yeah, rear engine, the whole deal. The Coventry Climax, of course, is the same engine that won a Formula One World Championship. in 1960.
60s, I think. Yeah.
In the Cooper. Yeah.
Mhm.
Richard Kelly 7 has retired.
Somebody
So-
says the only car that was built in Scotland.
Yeah, that was a government thing. They were tooling up to build this new car, and the government said, "We'll give you money to build a new factory if you put it in Scotland." And it turned out that the Glaswegian workforce that was used to building like North Sea freighters didn't really have the fit and finish skills
Sure.
that were expected on consumer vehicles.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. Yeah, Roots Group, of course, they're like crappy British Leland.
yeah,
They have their own. It's a different set of weird
yeah.
idiosyncrasies.
yeah.
And to say they're a crappy British Leyland, that's saying a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Chrysler owned them for a while. I think that has a lot. I mean, technically, it's Stellantis, really.
Yeah, so they got bought by Chrysler, and then Chrysler sold them to Peugeot in their early 80s, late 70s, early 80s bankruptcy. And then now they and Chrysler are back together with Stellantis.
Yeah, I mean, let's run down Stellantis because every brand in the world is somehow related. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, you got... So,
Lancia, which is just one car currently, and only in Italy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you got, well, I mean, the big ones are Chrysler, Peugeot,
Fiat, Alfa.
Fiat.
Then Opel.
Ram and Dodge.
right?
And then with the extinct brands, well, Citroën is still going. Extinct brands, you've got like Panhard, Simca, all the Roots Group stuff, Sunbeam.
Albert. Yep.
Yeah, Albert.
Opel's a nice twist because once you throw Opel into the mix, you get all of these U.S. sold Opels, like the Saturn L series, somehow
yeah,
becomes
the
a
Aura.
Stellantis product.
And don't forget the yeah, was it or what?
The Saturn Astra is now a Dodge.
Astra. That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. AMC, everything from AMC,
That's
which
right.
means that everything from Nash, which means that refrigerators from Kelvinator are Stellantis products.
That's right.
Chrysler had their own set of appliances, I think, too.
I saw their speedboats with like Chrysler outboard motors.
Perfect.
That's right. Yeah, they did that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I love the web of Stellantis is like the greatest gift to lemons that the automotive world could possibly have given. I love Ron's shortcut also, by the way.
Yeah.
Was it Alex Zanardi who at Laguna Seca won the race by just taking the corkscrew and just not going on the track, just going around it?
Yeah, he basically straight lined it and had maybe a corner of one tire on the curbing, so whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I do remember talking with you, Eric, when Stellantis came out, and I was trying to draw out the web on a piece of paper, and it just wound up being like Glenn Beck, Beautiful Mind shit. And I was like, I can't keep doing this, man. It's gonna make my head.
Yeah, you feel extra crazy at some point. Like, just, Jesus, how did I do this? Opel also gives you Holden.
That's right. Rest in peace, by the way.
Yeah, this sounds like a terrible Beautiful Minds thing. Whenever you're sitting there, you look down and you just have a sticky note that says Dodge Rampage equals Craftsman somehow.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm 14th in my class. I don't know if I'm 14th overall, though.
I feel, I always end up feeling like Charlie with the bit from It's Always Sunny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Errol.
Yeah, Eric Hasser running 14th at the moment.
Ah, okay.
What's on Eric's car, by the way? Does he have a livery? Oh, he's got the funfetti. Yeah. It was his birthday last month, though, I think. There's some writing on the hood.
Oh, yeah, speaking of hood.
Shit happens when you party naked. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. So, last weekend, Tyler and Chris Ray, the Everything Bagel of Late Night Lemons, and I did one of the iRacing Nurburgring Endurance Championship races. It was a 4-hour race. And we did the Miata. And I binned it on my stint. Tyler did excellent. I binned it. I spent most of my stint in the pits. And then Chris Ray got us up to 12th. But by the time Chris Ray hopped in, I noticed that the car was permanently damaged, like body-wise. Like if you see my car, you see like the hood's all crumpled. And I went through all my quick repairs already, so that's kind of interesting. This iRacing just says, okay, we get it. This is what your car is going to look like for the rest of the race. It's going to get worse if you crash it again.
So clearly you have made your choice.
Yes.
Chose violence.
Yes. With Mouchlan Morning. Not your local ShopRite.
I agree, Luis, that the lore of Stellantis is insane. It is the gift that keeps on giving.
Stellantis could be a VTuber. Like me.
Or, VE drugs or boner pills.
Oh, that's that indeed, yes.
Not like name brand boner pills, like gas station boner pills.
Like the 7-Eleven brand of boner pills.
7-Eleven. Man, I can't wait to take those.
Yeah, it's great value boner pills. Try Stellantis today.
Yeah. You don't even need insurance.
In fact, we recommend against it.
Yeah, it's like the oh god, what would you call that?
4 hours. Call more ladies.
Or whatever. But ladies, because we're talking about Walmart.
That's right. The Whammon.
Oh,
Whammon
man.
loves Stellantis.
That's right. My guy didn't have performance, so he got Stellantis.
Yeah,
Thanks,
he sounds like a elephant.
Yeah, they're sitting in matching PT Cruisers like bathtubs. So
Oh, yeah.
He went to Cordoba.
Does your man need a Hemi in his pants? Then Stellantis may be the right pill for him. Just pop one in an hour before you get it on, and you gotta feel old 897 horsepower of fucking yeah.
It's the old Extends commercials with Smiling Bob, but he's just doing donuts in like a Hellcat. That's the end of the commercial.
And then Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun plays because they do look like that. You remember that video from Black Hole Sun where they all get creepy smiles before they get sucked up in the black hole?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a whole man. Yeah. It's hilarious when you can physically see the overlap of commercial directors and music video directors.
You just notice some trademarks.
Yeah, it's just like, the low angle, highly lit shot,
Yeah.
I remember I was in like a restaurant or something and music videos were playing. It was like a Michael Bolton video. And it looked like shot for shot like a Valtrex ad. Like it was just like, oh my god. They definitely hired the same guy.
I wonder
There's
if
definitely
Anton,
a crossover between Valtrex and Michael Bolton.
Also true, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, there's that too.
I wonder if Anton Corbin's ever done any ads. All those Depeche Mode videos gotta come in handy.
Yeah, I mean, You can tell when people are using the same vocabulary across ads and music videos. Pretty great. Especially like from the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Your own dun dun personal dun the pizza dun dun dun. Dun. Only at Pizza Hut.
We do need a Smiling Bob Lemons theme. I mean, that one's right out there.
I remember the thing that I remember it became a huge thing because the pills didn't actually do anything, and
That's right.
the whole business plan was when your dick doesn't get bigger, you'll be too embarrassed to tell the doctor that your dick didn't get bigger.
Oh,
That was their business plan completely.
I mean, that's the most like Silicon Valley approach to such a thing that could ever exist.
Mhm.
It is.
It's getting some big producers vibes going on in here.
Yeah.
Springtime for boner pills.
Man, what an evening.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
From this car, I can pretend that we're looking out like a 60s Lotus.
Yeah. The 60s Lotus is in the game, and we've used it before.
Yes,
Nice.
the kazoo, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a kazoo. We run it at Monza, and you can run the old circuit
That's
with
right.
the oval and the full course. So you end up doing like 180 and hitting the bump out of the oval and then flying for about 300 feet. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Steph, let's not be lying to ourselves now. You're pushing the 944 not just because it's out of gas.
Yeah. Yeah, Steph, we were also mentioning some of the slowest Lemons cars in history earlier, including a Volkswagen 412.
411.
Yeah.
411, 412, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah. There you go. There's the two-car theme idea, just descended from heaven above.
Oh man, it exists. It's a long story, but there is a team who has registered with 220, 221 many times, and every time they do, somebody else who has always run 220 as like their car number is like, we need that number, I'll give you a case of beer. And he's gone 0 for 2 on delivering the case of beer.
Oh.
So the other team was like, all right, we're literally registering as 220 for every single race in the entire calendar. Yeah. You got to deliver on the promise of beer. You can't leave Lemons people
Yeah.
hanging on that.
That's right.
That stuff gets remembered.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just about 12 minutes, 13 minutes left.
All right.
I can read things.
I can do
Numbers are hard.
Numbers are hard.
Yeah, numbers are hard.
You can't
Scott
see
Reed.
robot
Look
arms,
at
right?
that. Yeah, Scott Reed, one of the newbies, also, as he
Good.
dumps somebody in, as he dumps another newbie in the street stock. So there you
All
go.
the newbies dumping on each other.
Oh, man.
It's fine.
Two
Everything's fine.
newbies, one track.
And good and fine. Everything's good and it's fine.
Yeah, every time I hear you say that, I think of Sharina from Fire Emblem, and specifically Fire Emblem Heroes. That's one of her lines. She goes, "Fine, fine, everything's fine." I think it's
Yeah, I don't-
Sharina.
All those words are a mystery.
Correct.
Video
know.
games. I'm playing a video game right now. It's called iRacing.
I'm more of a pole position guy myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, what is
Atari, yeah.
You're a connoisseur of classic racing games, is that correct?
Well, it's not so much that as it is just that I'm blown away by how good this is.
Yeah.
When you look at
Yeah, I mean,
I'm old enough to play some really, really janky racing games.
pole position was a weird one. Like it kind of had it had a lot of right things, but a lot of not that. But limited by
Yeah. By the tech.
it being 1985 or whatever.
Almost got killed by a Dyno Camaro.
Well, then there were, I think, all the ones before pole position were like those ones where you're just viewing the track from above.
Right.
So whenever it's, you have to think fast, figure out which way you're supposed to be turning.
Yeah, because it's like, is this a right, and which way is right, and muscle memory is messed up on that. There's an arcade near here where you pay $15, you play whatever, but they have like a rally game from like the early '90s. It's pretty rad, with the pedals and the whole deal, and a wheel and a shifter.
Ooh.
It's pretty rad. I cannot remember the name of it. It might just be called World Rally Championship, but Sega Rally, I think that might be it, actually. You can race an Evo, which is fun.
Whoa.
It's a Evo.
So, Pittsburgh used to have a place like that, and it was literally called Games and Hat. And Games and Hat was wonderful. But they had Cruisin' Exotica there, and it was great because whenever it's free, you can actually finish the game of Cruisin' Exotica, which at the end of, the whole campaign, you are greeted by Bill Clinton on a Star Destroyer in a hot tub.
Oh my.
Yeah, that was some great times. Like, hey, you want to grab some beers and go down to Games and Hat and see Bill Clinton? Like, yeah, sure. I got nothing else to do.
So what you're telling me is you got to see Bill Clinton in his natural environment.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, yeah. And there was like random, and it wasn't like he was in the Star Destroyer. He was on the Star Destroyer.
Congratulations on winning.
And that's what it would be like. The Star Destroyer going there with like some cows and some bikini women running around, and like, I want to thank you for playing my game. Roll credit.
Did he play a sax also?
I think in one of the Cruisin' Exoticas he did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was he in a bathtub of hot ladies?
He was indeed.
Ah.
Perfect. I love that they could do things like that in arcade games because nobody would ever get to the end. Like, they knew nobody was going to see it. And if you did, you wouldn't believe that you had seen it, or nobody would believe that.
You're going to think you just hallucinated it.
Yeah. You were staring at a screen for 3.5 hours and spent $90. Of course you'd think that Bill Clinton showed up in a hot tub on a Star Destroyer.
Did you smoke all that weed today, man? No, really, I saw that, man. Bill Clinton, hot tub, naked ladies, stars. Okay, bro, just lay off the weed for a day, all right?
Cruising games are kind of great also. I did enjoy those.
Yeah.
One of the, I've got the wiring set up. One of these days, I am taking the shifter from a Cruisin' Exotica or a Cruisin' USA cabinet and controlling a GM 4L60E with it.
Oh my, there you go.
That's fine. It's a good plan. There was the guy who, he was like an electrical engineer. He built a turbo Miata for Lemons. But had rewritten all of the ECU software himself. So there was a joystick, and each of the buttons on the joystick was assigned to something, and one part of there was a manual advance of timing for dumping a whole crap load of fuel in with the turbo, but you had to pull the trigger on the thing as you hit it. Oh, have some chat for the guy. He's gone.
He forgot to advance his timing.
He forgot. Yeah, he didn't pull the trigger at the right time. That's not how you
think about it, though. That's pretty badass. It's, something from the 1910s or into the 20s. Gotta advance the timing here on the steering wheel.
Yeah, yeah. It was exactly like racing a Model T, basically.
Now, sure you crank it correct, or you're gonna break your wrist.
Dave still in 14th, or is Nate? Is it updated?
I don't know.
Ooh, crank starting brings up an interesting concept.
The what?
Crank starting, hand starting an engine, brings up an interesting idea because if you race something, hypothetically, with a crank start, does starting the car in the hot pit count as working on it?
That's an interesting dilemma. We have had 2 crank-started cars at the same race.
One of them
were you?
Snipe, right? I wasn't at the. I think it was the Super Snipe and the the Dacia Renault.
Yeah, it was a Renault R10. And so they tried to do like a Le Mans style start in the pits, in the paddock. But the Renault/Dacia guy decided to cheat and like playfully pushed the Humber guy, who then fell and broke his arm. So that was
That went really poorly.
it went not well. Like, it was supposed to be playful. The Dacia owner was in character as a gruff Romanian the whole weekend, so he took it a little too far. The character acting.
That's supposed to hurt people, bro.
Yeah, it didn't end up well, but yeah, I do believe the Humber was started first, still, in spite of that. So
I don't know. I've got a crank for the Alpine to start it.
yeah, the guys who have the Lemons Alpine also have a crank start for it.
Well, also if you need to like set the valve clearances or something, it's a useful way to turn the engine up without using the starter motor.
Yeah, turn it top dead center.
Tips.
Yeah, that's right. You don't have that on your Miata. See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
You didn't live a whole hard life knowing how to crank start a Sunbeam to, take the easy way out.
Exactly.
Crank start a Sunbeam. It sounds like a song. Crank start a Sunbeam. Like one
Sounds
of those
like a
60s
euphemism for a depraved sex act.
Yeah, correct.
Disguised as a cheery 60 pop song.
Yeah.
I love that Motley Crue song, Crank Start My Heart.
Crank start my heart. Burr, burr.
Crank start my Ford.
Crank start my Ford.
Crank my hog, boss.
Today
Do that again.
I cranked my hog today to see if I'd still feel.
I know this song. This is Hurt by Johnny Clibbins.
Johnny Clibbins. I focus on the turn. I don't think it runs.
Man,
Barb would be so proud.
Barb would be proud of that cranking.
Oh, yeah. Stop cranking my heart around.
We're pretty far down the rabbit hole of internet at this point.
Yeah,
Come on. Yeah.
we've reached the bottom of the internet, folks.
Yeah.
The final page says welcome.
Yeah. Luckily, there's only 3 minutes left in the race.
Woo. Oh.
We timed that close to right. Nate was in 14th last I knew. Nate Schlebeen, our master of ceremonies who comes up with the formats.
That's right.
Suppose it's fitting that he finally wins that thing.
Yay.
I don't know if he's ever been the actual winner of a Lemons race. iRacing race.
I mean, there was that time in the early times whenever everyone was new and he wasn't. I seem to remember he was, it was a little lopsided back then.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, the talent level has certainly raised in 2 years of doing this. As I watch Cameron shortcut the corner. So.
Well, some talent has risen.
The average talent has risen.
Yeah. I still live up to the URL I suck at racing. But I don't suck as much as I did when I started over a year ago at Long Beach, where I didn't even finish the race.
I do remember rage quitting that race. I hate Long Beach.
Yeah, I think my pit limiter rage quit on me, and then I got hit from behind by a Skippy, and I don't think I could get it going after that, so that's why I tapped out.
Love the shots, Ryan. By the way, everything's looked really, really good.
Yeah.
Oops in chat.
Yeah, Opes in chat. That's right.
Oh. That should be a new emoji. Oh.
Yeah, 1 minute to go.
Yay, 1 minute.
Laps
And
here.
then
Bottom.
Just, yeah. The emoji for Midwesternness is going to be Ope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what the right expression would be. It would have to be like hands
Just
up.
the pure Michigan sign.
Pure Michigan, yeah.
I always thought of it as more of a Wisconsin, Minnesota thing, but I also live on this side of the lake, so.
I mean, I'd say that Ope extends even out like into Appalachia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't heard in my part, but yeah, that checks.
Hayden Bright, newbie in 14th. How about that?
Right.
Oh, damn.
Real winner.
Yep, we using all the track.
Paid for the whole track, gonna use the whole track.
That's right. All $15. Oh, stunt granny. Oh, keep it together. There you go. He's on fresh tires for the Wreckfest.
Oh, I mean, that's an important thing to do.
Hell yeah. He was just chilling in the pits the rest of the time.
Checkered flag appears to be out-ish. It's like Phil McCandless is your winner. Looking for a ride at Thunderhill as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna look for a Wreckfest in a moment here. Guess I'll
Ryan, is
just
this an
follow.
actual race for 14th happening right here?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Ah, well,
Not on the same lap, unfortunately.
gotcha.
Mow that grass, stunt granny. Oh no.
Old Gregors is up in 7th.
Gotcha. Well, good deal. Lots of new people. The paints didn't quite work out the way we had hoped. Something went
Pretty good.
But yeah. Here we go. Caden Bright on debut. Well done. Your real winner. So we head into the post-race Wreckfest into turn
Yeah.
one.
Oh, I got killed by some people. Let me see. Oh, I got killed out of the game.
People, you got yeeted into orbit. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was on my lid and then boom.
Oh, there we go.
Sweet.
That was good spatula action there.
Oh yeah.
The Hessers know how to crash an iRacing car better than anybody.
This shot brought to you by Spatula City. Spatula City, they sell spatulas and that's all.
Good distance. That was quality right there.
That was brilliantly done.
That's the real kind of talent that we bring here.
Yeah.
Breaking the physics model.
That's
Which
what I
actually,
do.
this isn't the normal braking.
Yeah, it used to be way worse. I think we might have, you know,
Great
given
shot.
them some bug exploits to work on.
That's right.
Although I don't think rolling works like that either. So
Yeah.
he just kind of stopped rotating
Yeah.
mid.
Well, he got tired.
Yeah,
Ah.
Yeet.
right about there. It was like, no, I'm not gonna rotate with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see where I went, cause yeah, I'm invisible, I guess. I know
he
I.
just yeeted into past the barriers.
Yeah, cause I know I hit the barrier and went on my lid, and then I got hit again, I think. And that's how I got yeeted out.
Yeah,
Game.
definitely broke the model there a lot,
Yeah.
as did the Skip Barber bouncing back in a way that is not possible.
Okay, so there's me on the lid. Okay.
And then it probably just sent you out, or did you get also punched?
I think I got punted. Alright, okay.
Oh
there's-
yeah, well, that was good.
Nice.
Well done. That's Zach, newbie Zach, getting the. Oh, that was quality.
Oh, yeah.
It was like billiards right there where they stopped the queue.
Uh-huh.
That's good stuff. I don't know who that was. Oh, that was Ron Harrington. Giving
Yeah.
me.
All right. Okay.
Oh, that's a good
one.
one.
They got you.
Never lift, by the way.
Never lift. No,
Oh, there
that's
it is.
there we go.
You're
right
part
into
of a
the corner
twofer.
pocket.
Yeah. Good. Spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Oh, and Stunt Granny wrapping it up here.
Bismol.
Yep, Pepsi Bismol.
Pepsi Bismol.
Look at that fast forwarding. And he spun before he got there.
Yeah.
And then
he spun before he got to the start finish line too.
Excellence was expected.
that's right.
Pepsi Bismol. Quality is job one.
Oh, that was a good one there too. Good bounce.
Imagine if Pepsi did make a Pepto-Bismol flavored Pepsi.
Oh, that was really good.
What would be weirder? Pepto Bismol flavored Pepsi or Pepsi flavored Pepto Bismol? Discuss.
I have to say Pepsi flavored Pepto Bismol.
Okay.
Wait, do I? I don't know.
This is the kind of existential quandary that we are glad to leave you with.
Yes.
You guys.
I think I'm going to go with Pepsi flavored Pepto Bismol. I think.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right, folks. I think that's going to take us out. Phil McCandless winning on debut. No. Yeah, we did.
Yes.
Well done. Winner Caden Bright, also your real winner on debut.
Yeah.
Nate missed the real win by one position. And yeah, there you go. Thanks for joining us for Lemon's iRacing from Lime Rock. Armin, thank you so much for being here. Even though you have the Rona.
Yeah.
Yeah, get well
Thanks for having me.
soon.
It's great.
Yeah. Go get some. Go have some scissorp and.
Yeah, I'll have some scissor. I'll see you at Thunderhill.
Yeah. Get better. And of course, Randy, thanks for being here.
Always a pleasure.
And Cameron, thank you so much for giving us the play-by-play from in the car. Well done.
Of course, as always.
All right, that's going to do it for us for Lemon's iRacing on this lovely Sunday night.
Yes.
Finishes everybody off. Our next iRacing event is June 18th from Watkins Glen. It's a Saturday night. If you want to get in on this action, go to isuckatracing.com and you can follow the instructions for signing up. We'll get you there. 2 weeks where Armin and I will both be. Come say hi. BFE GP in Colorado, June 4th and 5th. Real Hoopties of New Jersey, June 10th and 11th at NJ Belt Grand Prix at Gingerman Raceway, June 25th and 26th. Sign up for the upcoming Lemons rallies. I think that is it. Thank you so much, Ryan, for giving us all this awesome coverage. Everything looked spectacular. We will see you guys in a month.